Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to Breeding Inspirations to check out my Mixed Media Mondays. This is Teresa, well I am Teresa, and probably the only one you will see doing a video. So today we're going to cover adding stencils and build on from what we learned last week. For those that didn't watch my Facebook Live last week, we introduced gesso and adding a focal point. This week we're going to focus on stenciling and building on having a focal point and using gesso and also building up the background. So this time I'm going to show you that you can use like if you don't have the mixed or the, oh my gosh, I can't think straight today, the matte medium gel, you can also use a glue stick to help get items down on your page. So let's go ahead and use this glue stick. Let me put a piece of paper underneath me so I don't get glue all over the place. So I got the purple glue stick. I'm not sure what special properties it has. Let's see. It's just washable school glue. So let's see. I like this kind of going down. I'll put that on the edge. And you just make sure you press down really good. Make sure all the edges are adhered because that's the most important part. Okay, what else do we want on here? We need to have some words. Oh, look at that little bit of music. I'm going to put that on there. And some book page. Oh, I kind of like how this one says adventure or advertising. Let's see. Maybe not. I also have some, this is called rice paper. And it kind of works the same as what does napkins. And the way that it kind of blends into the background. As long as you want to make sure you tear your edges. You don't want just a straight seam because then it looks like you just glued it down, and we don't want that. We want it to become part of our project. And I like this because it's kind of got the colors that I am going for. This time I am working on, I'm going to go with kind of the same colors, I guess. Blues, browns, and tans. I'm kind of like really into those colors right now. So you'll probably see a lot of variations of those. Let's see. We're going to put this going up and down here. Go ahead and smooth all your edges in again. And then, let's see. Ooh. Kind of like that. Okay, and this here is part of a book page. Please, if you're watching this, check out my Facebook page. I have a business page, and I also have a Facebook group. In the group, I share a lot of my inspirations, other things that I've made, and it's also a place that you can try out your stuff and share with us. And it would really be good at, if you are making stuff along with me, that you share it with us so we can see what you're doing. So now I got a little bit of music page. And I am going to put that on. Kind of like that together there. But I'm not so sure about, oh, we need to get a darker brown in there. We're going to put this on the page. There we go. Okay. And then I want to put a little bit more of this down here, the rice paper. This time I'm going to put it horizontal, but maybe a little bit down in the corner too. Okay, let's see. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. How many of you watched the Super Bowl? I did not watch it. We ended up watching nothing but NCIS last night, which was nice. I mean, me and my husband sat down and watched it together, and it was very enjoyable. But I did. So how many of you people were betting on the Super Bowl, and did you win? It'd be interesting to see who did. And what was your favorite part of the Super Bowl? And let's see, what else can I ask? Oh, what was your favorite commercial? I would love to hear that. I haven't seen any of the commercials yet. All right, so there's our paper. I got that down. Let's see, we'll tear this little bit here off the edge because it's distracting me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I've got some clear gesso. And what the clear gesso does is it primes the paper to take on more medium, but also it stops it from taking on so much color because it's clear. It you can wipe it off and still has some of the color behind. So I'm not going to put it on everything because I do want to use the white gesso just so I can help blend in the edges. But I don't want to lose all this beautiful paper I put down. And what I mean by lose is lose the coloring and the composition of it, because I got some really interesting stuff here and I just don't want to lose it. There we go. And I do get very messy in this process because I do like to use my fingers a lot. You don't have to use your fingers. You can use a palette knife. You can use a roller. You could use a paintbrush. You could even put gloves on your fingers to kind of protect them. But me, I'm not so picky like that. So I'm going to go ahead and dry my first layer. And as you probably learned from the last video, I am not a very patient person. So where I see gobs of it still hanging around, where I got a little bit extra on there, I'm going to go ahead and dab that off. Okay. So let's go ahead and put the glue stick up. I'm done with the clear gesso. Now, let's get some matte or some gesso out. My favorite thing. So I am going to go ahead and blend in the edges. What I mean by that is any edge that is showing where the papers that we glued down, wherever that attaches to the paper itself, I don't want a clear outline of the image. And by kind of pouncing it on, it blends those edges out some. So it's not such a harsh line. And for this, I really like to use my finger. Now, we don't want to do what we did the last time and put too much on and then having to repeat things. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more careful and not run away with myself. But I have to admit, that's kind of hard to do sometimes. Just like sitting here talking to myself is. I'm trying to imagine that there's a class in front of me that I'm actually teaching. So maybe that'll help with the strangeness of talking to myself. Now, one good thing too about putting the gesso down, the clear gesso that is if we do happen to get, let's say, some extra color where we don't want it, and it's like on the paper itself, like, let's say there, I don't want that big old amount of gesso right there. You can take a baby wipe and go ahead and wipe it off, and it won't ruin your picture. And it lightens it a little bit, but as you can see, it's no longer a big gob there. So let's go ahead and get this done and dried. Remember to always dry your layers in between. That is very important. You can use your hair dryer. If you got a embossing type gun, that there, just make sure you really move it around a lot, because if you leave it in one spot, it will burn your paper. Now I use the heat tool from Ranger, and I absolutely love it. I would be lost without it. There we go. That looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and dry that. And any spots that you see are not stuck down, try and press on it to get it to stick. To me, that's when liquid glue really comes in handy. But gesso can be used to get it to stick some, if it's just a little bit. I have not decided yet what I'm putting down as my focal point. That'll be kind of interesting to figure that out. What is your guys' favorite focal points? Do you have a favorite one? I use a lot of like butterflies and flowers. I want to try and start using something else, but I'm not exactly sure what to use. So if you have some ideas out there, things that you like to use as a focal point, please list them below. We'll all help each other out. That's basically what this channel is all about, is helping each other create. Sometimes you need someone to bounce ideas off of or just get inspiration from. And that's what I'm hoping I'm able to give to you. And maybe you might learn a trick or two here and there. All right, so our page is dry. Now I am going to add a little bit of color just to kind of get a base color down. And I am going to use Mermaid Lagoon. Get a brush. Now this time I'm going to add color on with a brush. Show you that it can be laid down in several different ways. Not just the way I showed you last week with the sponge kissing technique. Okay, so first one I'm going to add is the Blue Lagoon. So I'm going to just add a little bit of color down here. Ooh, look how pretty that is. Let's go ahead and add some up in here. And up in here. Now I want to get this corner here just a little bit darker. So even though we put this on what you would call dry, because it is the distress oxide, you still need to take a dryer to it, a heat to it basically, so that it sets. And it doesn't mean that it won't react to water, but it won't continue to move on the paper if I use my fingers. Okay, so we got that done. I want to make this side here a little bit darker, so you can just keep kind of building up on colors. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Looks like my paper is my book is wanting to flip up, so I'm going to go ahead and put the papers down. It looks like I'm going to have to switch out my the type of book I'm using. I'm going to still keep the pages. I'm just going to take it apart sheet by sheet and then use my cinch to make a new book out of it and have it spiral bound. So in the future, I would suggest getting a spiral bound type of journal, because the more you flip the pages back and forth, and the more you media you put on it, it's loosening up the glue that binds it all together. So my pages are starting to come out on their own. All right, so now I'm going to add a lighter blue. This one here is Speckled Egg. And it's a real kind of like a dusty light blue. So I'm just going to kind of add that in, kind of leading into and blending with the other blue. Maybe this is too light of a blue. I might have to try another blue. Let's see. Let's try Broken China. That might be better. It's a bit of a darker blue. Oh, there we go. That's better. Or maybe it's a combination of the two, and that's looking so much better to me, but I like the way it's coming out. Okay. Now I'm going to put some tan in there. I'm going to use Vintage Photo. So this is Vintage Photo. I'm still using oxides. I don't have very many just distress inks, which kind of makes it a little tough. Oh yeah, these colors look really good together. And this also just adds more of an antique-y feel to your page. Oh, look what it did with the page, book page. It really made it look old. So I'm kind of bringing this all the way around and throughout the paper wherever there's really no blue. And then kind of blending it in with the blue a little bit, just to give it more of a cohesive coloring. All right. Now I'm going to add some walnut stain to it. Okay, let's go ahead and dry these two layers together. I know you're probably wondering when the stenciling is going to start. Just remember that mixed media is a process, and it's a process of layers. It's layers upon layers upon layers. And whatever is the first layer you put on is at the bottom. So you want to make sure at each layer, something from each layer shows through all the way up to the top. And then what you want to sit on top are the last couple layers that you put on, which would be your focal point, your stenciling, that kind of thing. So nothing kind of prevents it from showing through. Okay. Now I want to put something even darker on it. And I'm going to put this here around all the edges. I brought out some black and some scorched timber just in case, but I really think this here is going to be dark enough. And then you just kind of after you hit the edge, kind of bring it in a little bit more. Oh, see, now that's not sticking down. Let's see. Let's grab some glue stick. Okay, let's go ahead. There we go. And then you kind of hit the edge real hard and then blend it in as you go in. And that way, it's not taking the biggest amount of color and getting it where you really don't want it. And it brings the focus to the center where it is lighter. Oh, this bottom piece right here is like my favorite. Hope you can see it. It's at the bottom of the rice paper that I added on. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that word today. I usually don't. I keep wanting to call it Egyptian linen. Don't ask me why. All right. So let's see. What else do we want to do? I think we're going to dry that. And I think that might be it of the coloring. Although I feel like it needs a little bit more blue. Like down in here. And maybe a little bit more the white gesso at the top, in the middle. Okay, let's see. We went with the mermaid one. Mermaid Lagoon. Really makes you want to say Blue Lagoon. Does anybody remember that show? Showing a little bit of my age there. It was a very popular show when I was young. See, now I mixed that in with the brown, and look, it's coming out kind of green. I think it's because of the vintage photo. It has a little bit of a yellow in it. So it's kind of adjusting the color. That's interesting. But I think that little bit of blue in there really helped. Okay. Bluish green, I should say. And then we talked about a little bit more of gesso. I didn't want a lot, so I'm just using my baby wipe to kind of sponge it on a little bit. Just really wanted to lighten that up. Okay. All right. So let's see what we do now. I think it's time to do the stenciling. So I found a fun stencil that I like to use, and it has numbers on it. Numbers are really fun. Anybody out there that does scrapbooking will tell you that using numbers are a lot of fun. And guess what? It's not in here. I must not have put it back from the last one. So, let's see. I have to grab another stencil. Got one similar to it. This one here is a mixture. No, these are all letters. So, well, I guess that makes sense. because we got some like library books. So the key with using, let's see, I think I want to put clear gesso on top of everything. No, I want to seal it. I don't want to lose it. So I am going to add some matte gel, liquid medium to it. Just because I want to protect what I have down and not mess it up like I have in the past. And you got to be real careful when putting a liquid on top of anything that's distress oxide or distress ink, because it will pull up the color. But this will seal it so nothing happens to it. I think this page is going a bit faster than my other one did. Eventually, I will get this down really good and not have to make such long videos. So I am going to work this in threes, just because that's visually appealing to the eye. So I want to lose some of this, of the library books. So let's see, I think I am going to use scorched timber in this. It's kind of like a brownish black, just like it says. You think of burnt wood. The key with this is you don't want to go and fill out the complete square of the stencil, the complete outline of it, because it looks like just a box was placed there. You want it kind of to blend in. So you want to start in one spot and blend out, and start in another spot and blend out, so that you're not getting the whole picture there. And you'll see what I mean. It looks like I need to go a little bit darker, especially where the books were. Okay, as long as you keep your fingers on one side of it, you can lift up the corner and take a peek to see how it's doing. It's still not showing through very well. Maybe I need black. I don't want to put a bright color on it because it would, I think, take away from my blues, and I don't want to do that. If the black doesn't work, I might have to just do a bright color. Okay, there we go. That added some visual interest to it. And then we want to do it down here. There we go. And then up here and this side. I think I'm going to put just a little bit over here. Not as dark, just kind of break up that page just a little bit. Oh, there we go. How you like that so far? I'm loving it. let's go ahead and dry that. Okay, now I think what I really want to add to it is a flower. So let's get out what flowers I have. Now I don't have a big assortment of flowers, but I'm working on it. Everything is something in progress. Okay. Let's see what I got there. Those are real tiny flowers. I feel like I want a big flower. Let's see what this yellow... Oh, no, I don't like that. Ooh. Now, that's kind of interesting. Oh, wait, I've got some other big flowers. Let's see. Oh, no. No. See, I don't know what it is about colored flowers. I'm just not a huge fan of. I'll know it when it hits me, that's for sure. Oh, this one might be pretty interesting. Ooh. I don't know. I think I like this one, but I don't like the white in it, so let me get a pair of scissors and we'll cut that white out. Okay. There's something about this color that just really pops on that background to me. It's kind of funny how when you see something, all of a sudden you just know that's the right one. Like it spoke to you. I am not good at fussy cutting at all because of my vision. Those that are new watching me, I am vision impaired. I'm actually legally blind. I'm losing my center vision. You probably wonder how in the world I can still do this. I don't know. I'm not as picky and kind of go with the flow and just go with it, with what feels right. You know, some of the famous painters do abstract type painting. And so I figure if they can do it, why can't I? Everybody can be creative. And by taking the time and playing in your art journal, you can see what techniques work best for you and which ones don't. And that's what I've come to do. So, okay, let's put some... Make sure I'm putting the right stuff. the gel medium on the back of it. This way it'll stay down really good onto your paper. I think I like it this way, like that. And just go ahead and put a little bit of pressure on it. And anywhere that you see that's not really sticking very well, just kind of lift it up and just smack some more on there. Looks like I'm covering up all the pieces that I wanted to keep light. And by brushing it all on the top as well, it helps glue the edges down. So I'll put a little bit more on there. Just press down on all the edges. Okay, I'll come in here and blow dry it. Not blow dry it, but take my heat gun to it. Let's see, my page is already coming loose. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that and fix it. I don't know why it's not staying down there. So Valentine's Day is coming up real soon. Does anybody have any big plans or anything like that that they would like to share? My husband and I really don't celebrate Valentine's Day anymore. It's just basically another day. He comes home and says how much he loves me, and he goes to work every day to show that he cares about supporting me and taking care of me, which is really important to me. My life has not always been secure. My first husband did not take very good care of us as a family, and neither did the boyfriend after that. So I wanted to make sure that my next husband would be a hard worker and want to take care of us. And that's what I found. Okay, so now I am going to do a little bit of art making. And I got a new toy. They're called ink tents. They're watercolors. However, you can use them as adding shadows and things like that into your artwork as well. So I'm going to go ahead and outline this. Okay. So I'm adding a little bit of water just so I can add a little bit of depth into this flower that's not just painted or inked from a machine. Plus it kind of adds my own little take to it. And by adding a little bit of water to the outside, I'm able to smear the outline a little bit so it doesn't look like it's just drawn on. Like it's a little bit of a shadow. So let's go ahead and dry that. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We need to add a stem. So yeah, what's a flower there that doesn't have a stem? So I'm going to take my Posca pen and make me a little stem coming from this center spot right there. Okay. All right, let's take a green and see what we can do here. It's not really filling it in as nicely as I would like. Let's see, I got a small blending brush. Let's see what we can do. Get a green, maybe I need oxides in it. Well, I do have one distress ink that is actually green, so let's try that. Because this is supposed to be even darker than what the oxides are. And I don't want it so dark that it just covers everything else up. But I want it dark enough to where you can see it. Okay. We'll see how that works. And then I want to get a little bit more. Let's dry that. And then we'll go in with the black. Just kind of guess I'm kind of glad nobody can see me right now because I get concentrating and my tongue comes out. I don't know why that is. I'm sure most of you guys had that issue, but I don't know. It just made me laugh at that moment, so I thought I'd share that. So we're going to smear that black up in there. Do something in here. Okay, that helped it. I can at least tell it's supposed to be a leaf and a stem. Okay, let's get a white in there now. So the white, we're going to run around this edge because that's where the light is coming from. I want it a little bit lighter in here. And then really white in here. Okay, let's give it a little spray. And I actually have water brushes. They're not filled up with water yet, but it may help me spreading this out. Okay. So we're going to take this, kind of push it out a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and dry that. All right, let's see. We're going to use orange, I think. Orange and yellow to try and do something with this inside of the flower. I think I heard somebody call this stickling once, but I'm not 100% sure. You just kind of pounce color in there instead of swiping it. So I'm mixing reds and oranges, or oranges and yellows together to make the inside. And then I did have that little bit of black, but I think I'm going to put some brown to kind of give the inside a little bit more depth. Okay, and then we'll just take my brush right here that's a little damp, because it doesn't take a lot to move it around the colors. I think I like that. So let's go ahead and Okay. Let's see, I got Posca pens. I don't have anything that would really bring that flower out more. Oh, what's this? Oh, these are Posca pens also. I don't know. I wonder what a purple. I mean, it is kind of a purple. There we go. Oh, that might work a lot. Oh, yeah. Hope I'm not ruining this flower. I get started and sometimes I just don't know when to stop. Okay. Now, I think if I go in and add a little bit of red, or more purple. Ooh. With Posca pens, you got to make sure you shake them up really well. And then if you haven't used them, it's best to tap it on paper until it comes out. So we're going to make the tips a little bit darker purple. Oh, this one's dripping. All right, let's see what we're going to have happen here. Okay, let's see. How does that look? It's hard to tell looking. I really like this white flower. I don't know. I wish I could find my white Posca pen because I really feel like that would help. Or a gel pen, something along those lines. I think I have something here. fingers are very purple. Sorry, I've gone quiet trying to make this look right. I don't know why I always do this. I just can't be happy and leave things alone. I mean, that flower was pretty when I first put it down, but I just had to make it purple because purple's my favorite color. And then I had to lighten it and darken it. But let's hope that what I come out with looks good. Okay. Well, it's starting to look more like a flower. Let's go ahead and dry that. And I lost the numbers down here, so I want to, or the letters, I want to go add those back in. Okay, let's see. Where's that jelly pen at? Right here. I'm still feeling like I need... There we go. Okay. There's that. And let's get some more black in here. Okay. Well, it's about as good as it's going to get. So let's go ahead and find some words to put on it. maybe I have one in here that says, oh, I think I made a mess of this. Wouldn't that be appropriate? This one's cute. Don't judge me. There we go. Here we go. This, I feel, is appropriate for today. I just got too much on my plate. I am trying to rearrange my craft room because I got a new furniture again. I got myself 2 Alex drawers and a desktop, so I got rid of the one desk in here. So I'm in the middle of doing that. I have things I need to do for my affiliate. I'm the treasurer of American Council of the Blind of Virginia. I'm the treasurer for that affiliate. And it's that time of year where we get new members and renewing members. So I'm trying to get all that done. And then I have a board meeting on Thursday that I have to do a treasury report for, and then also a budget meeting. So I'm trying to do all that and make sure that I get a video done for you guys. So this here, it says, I'd like to announce I have no idea what I'm doing. Of course, I do know a little bit, but this just felt appropriate for this moment. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of shadowing in here to make this even pop more and draw away from my picture, my flower. So yes, I really, 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 really need to get some better flowers that just really look good. You know, not fake painted, but like painted like I did it myself type. So I'm probably going to like, what's the word I want to use? Stamp out some flowers on some backgrounds that I've made and then cut them out to make my own flowers. So we're going to go ahead and square off my boxes here. And I found my black Posca pen. Yay! I hate the feeling that I've lost materials or supplies because you guys know these supplies cost quite a bit. And to lose them is not a good thing. You know, I feel like I need some exclamation points there. Okay. Now I got a mess to clean up here, but here is the final thing, and let's go ahead and reveal it and take away the undersheet. We'll go ahead and fold it this way so everybody can see what it looks like. Oh, I almost forgot that I wanted to add in more of that stencil. What did I do with it? Probably underneath the flowers. Well, maybe this is just meant to be. I'm not going to do that because I cannot find my stencil. Oh, I did find this one that had the numbers on it, so let's do numbers instead. Oh, I wonder what that would look like on that flower. No, Teresa, leave the flower alone. Step away from the flower. Black soot is what I used. I just need to put it down here in this corner. Okay. There we go. I like that. All right, I'm done. I'm not going to do anything more to it, I promise. So, there we go. If you watch the video all the way to the end, thank you very much. Please like, comment, and share my video. They won't let me do a YouTube live yet until I have 50 followers. And if you come to see the video, you can tell I have not gotten that many followers yet. So hopefully I will catch on. If not, I will still make videos for my friends because they enjoy it. And if I let you get a few laughs in here and there, then I did my job. And hopefully you learned something along the way. Thank you. See you guys next week. Oh, before I forget, next week we're going to add more texture to our projects. We're going to use modeling paste. So if you don't have any modeling paste, you could probably take some school glue and thicken it with some cornstarch until it's the consistency of Jello, or not Jello, but pudding, where it's thick, where it doesn't like drip from your spoon. You kind of have to shake it off. So that's something you could use, and that will work for what we're wanting to do. So I will see you guys next week. Have a great week, and tell somebody how much that you care for them with Valentine's coming up real soon. Bye.